Hello. During this training video, I would like to run you through the installation process of ATS Inspect. We will be installing a version close to Service Pack 7 on a fairly clean VM with SQL 2019 already installed. So this is going to be one VM with Inspect and SQL on the same machine. We will start with installing the server installer to install all the Inspect services and also the connectivity kit that will allow us to build the Inspect database. You can choose custom to install specific services. In our case, we'll install everything in the default folder. Let me just check the name of the SQL server. There we go. All right. Username and password. Test the connection to make sure that it can find the SQL server. Connection successful. When you are upgrading an existing customer, you can press these 3 points to load a list of existing databases on the SQL server. In our case, it's a completely new server, so there's nothing there. I'll just change my database name to just say Inspect. Continue. Host name, that's fine. It's all going to be on the local host. And the standard port of 8500 for data service. Okay, the installation process has been completed. I don't need to see the review file. Click finish and we are done. So I will go to the installation folder, program files, Applied Systems, Inspect, Connectivity Kit. I'll need to make some changes into the build or in one file in this build folder. So to make that a little bit easier, I'll just copy it to my documents so that we don't have any rights issues. We'll have to edit inspect build.command where we need to change the server name to point to the right SQL server. Oops, like such. The database name is inspect, username and password, and save. Then I'll run the command file from a command prompt. Easy way to do that is by pressing Shift, keeping it pressed, and do a right click somewhere in this file explorer, but not on a file. That gives you the open PowerShell window here. And then I'm going to a command prompt, and the command is inspect build. There we go. The reason I'm doing it this way instead of a double click is that I can see everything without the window automatically closing when it's completed. Nothing strange here. Then to confirm that the build process has gone all right, here are the log files. So I can see that here is some data in there. I'll just open that with Notepad. And it's just a warning. That's standard, that's fine. The most important one is verify database. There should be 345 tables and there are 345. So these numbers have to match everywhere. And they do, so that's good. Then if I do a refresh in my SQL Server Management Studio, refresh of the databases, there I have my Inspect database. Then if I go to global settings, I can change my licensing endpoint. So the standard licensing endpoint is localhost, which for a local VM like here, it's fine. Just to show you how that would work if you need to change that at a customer. is you would use the host name of the server or the IP address and replace localhost with the host name or IP address. Then press enter. And from that point on, the applications will try to connect to this web service to get a license. Then we can start at least a data service to confirm that it can. Data service is the main service of ATS Inspect. All the applications and the other services connect to the database via data service. So this one runs. Then I can continue with my installation process. Install the client. So here we can do a data collect only, custom or complete. Again, with custom, you can determine what is installed and what isn't. To make my life a little bit easier, I'll just do a complete installation. It's going to be localhost everything, so I'll just keep it at localhost base port 8500. That's the standard port. Here we can tell the system to show a prompt for station, which means that it's going to show a list of all the data collect stations that are available when we start data collect. And the same for variable data collect. For a demo station, this is perfect. Right, I'll click install to actually install the applications, and there it goes. All right, the installation has completed. Finish, and that's that. In the meanwhile, I've started all the services that we can start. The only service that cannot be started without prior configuration is communication service. That is because communication service requires at least one message to be defined in Cockpit. So to confirm that the installation went all right, I'll just run Cockpit, and if that starts, then the installation was successful. The standard password is quality 2010 with the capital Q, but that's also mentioned in the documentation. All right, we're running a demo license, so this is expected. Continue. And we are up and running. Now if I go to my settings, I can see my licensing endpoint as configured in the database. Event service is up and running. Get reporting service is up and running. So it's all good. That concludes the topic of installing Inspect server and clients. Thank you for attending.